Hey everybody, this is Austin the Dark Lord. I have been doing a lot of deck build videos lately. I'm actually enjoying doing these. Also, I am doing the deck build on Black White Exalted today, the one that I've been holding off for a bit. Um, I will be going into high detail on this deck, very high detail. I call it the Power of Friendship. I always give my decks weird names, but so you all know this is the Black White Exalted that I run. The reason why I'm going to be going into high detail is because there's a lot of speculations on how this deck should be ran. The way I run it is the way I like it, and I'll explain every single bit, every single card, and why I run it. So this video will be going extra long, so let's get into the deck. I run 4 Cathedral of Wars. I only run 4, because you can only run 4. But the reason why I run 4 is because Cathedral of War is the Exalted land. So I have a better chance of drawing it instead of just running 2. A lot of people don't run this land because they see what's the point of running the colorless land in an Exalted deck when you could run creatures that could help it instead of this land. I really like this land because, I'm gonna play Cathedral of War. By turn 2, something that doesn't have Exalted could have Exalted. Even though it comes in tapped, it still gives a 1 cost that you could have played another Exalted bonus. Because I'll explain more about the 1-drops and Cathedral 4. I run 8 swamps and 8 plains. I will try to run the Orzo Godless Shrine once it comes out in this because dual lands are great, and also I think I might run the guild gates for a bit. I'm not too big on the guild gates yet, but I mean, it's a dual land, why not, right? I mean, I will test it with it. Right now, I like the deck the way it is. So, I'm going to get into the cards now. I run 2 Tormented Souls. Now, I run them because Tormented Soul can't be blocked and is unblockable. Or Tormented Soul can't block, but is unblockable. Now, it's really great because you're going to want to swing with him. Now, if something has Exalted, swing with him, that's 2 damage that they can't block. Tormented Soul is good and Exalted because it's a 1-drop that, they have flyers, so they're going to block your flyers. Oh, they have ground, they're going to block your ground. Oh wait, I have Tormented Soul. I'm going to go in with Tormented Soul and smack them for a lot of damage that they can't block. That's one reason why I run Tormented Soul. I only run 2 though. Now, Duty Born Dead, I run him because it's a 1-drop Exalted creature. I run 4. I run a playset. I'm not too big on him, but just that he's a 1-drop and you get early Exalted for something that his swing, you play him, Cathedral War, oh whack, I'm gonna smack you for 2. It gets in there. Now, back to Tormented Soul. Another reason why I run him is if I don't get any, I could have 2 on the field and swing with 1 and be like, oh, I have Cathedral War, so that's 2 damage at you. And if I play a Duty Bound Dead, that's 3 more damage. That's the 1-drops. Now into the 2-drops. I run 2 Knights of Infamy. You never know when you're going to run into white. I do not have a sideboard for this deck, but I run 2 Knights of Infamy. He is great to get protection from white. So if they're blocking with white, you go, oh, your white can't block this. Because white, when you have protection from it, they can't block. So you're swinging with this guy. So they can't block it. And it's a 2-1 with Exalted. It's good. Now I also run his brother, which is the Knight of Glory, which is the white version of Knight of Infamy. It's a 2-1 as well. It's good if you run into some guy running black. I only run 2 because two of them I think is good enough. I don't want to run too many. I run 2 Divine Favors. just to beef up a creature, get him in there, start hitting a bit harder instead of, just smacking them for whatever. And it also gives you 3 life just in case you need it. I run pacifism to stop their big creatures from blocking, because they're gonna have a big creature and your creatures don't get exalted high enough. Um, Stop their big creatures. I run 2 rings, the black rings. The rings of Exrith. I run these to put on Nighthawk to beef him up. Nighthawk is the key card in my deck. Um, and the regenerate's good too. I don't think I've ever had to regenerate. Every time I have the ring out, people just go really. I run 2 of these to run on my Sublime Archangels to beef her and give her vigilance, because if she's out, I kind of want to swing with her because she's big, flying. Not a lot of people can fly now. Now, I run 4 Avian Squires. Now, one of them is actually from Conflux, and that's when Exalted came out. Originally came out. There was no black. I run 4 of these guys because they're flyers. I mean, if you get them out turn 2, and by turn 3 you're smacking for a big chunk of their health. I mean, that's a flying Exalted. Now, I also run a Johnny, Color of Pride. He is a Planeswalker, a 3-cost Planeswalker, +1, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. So, I like to, it does the beef creature thing. -3 target creature gains flying and double strike until end of turn. Now, that's really fun if you swing with the Exalted. And then I run the 8. I like to use him for his last ability, which is the -8, put X 2/2 creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is your life total. Now the reason why that's important is because I run Nighthawk. Nighthawk gets me up there, and it's like, oh, Pump Cats, oh, Sublime Archangel. They all had Exalted now. Swing for game. I run 2 murders, only 2, because destroy target creature, and it's a high kill spell. I mean, if I already used my pacifism, it gets rid of the big guys too. I only run 3 Nighthawks, not a playset, because a playset is overkill. The reason why 3 is so I have a better chance of drawing him and getting him out on the field. Flying Death Touch Lifelink, he is the key card because in Exalted he gets bigger, you gain more life, and that's where Johnny's ability comes into play. I run 4 Servants of Nephrox. She's good because she's a 3/1 Exalted, and if you put Divine Favor on her, she becomes a 4/4 with Exalted. I like her. Not too many people run black in their Exalted. They do. If they do, it's usually soulbound cards. Now, Sorin Lord of Innistrad. I run him in my Exalted because he's really good. His +1 is put a 1/1 black vampire creature token with lifelink onto the field. If I don't get Nighthawk out and I have him out, I'm going to pump those tokens and swing with them so I can get a life. The -2 is you get an emblem when you get an emblem with creatures you control get +1/+0. With the Exalted factor, that's even better. And it gives your creatures a stronger power, so when they block, they can at least kill something. Because Exalted doesn't help with blocking. And then -6 destroy. Up to 3 target creatures and or planeswalkers, return each card put into the graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. I have never used his last ability. I've always it's always the +1 and -2, and he starts at 3 and he's 4 cost. I run him because he's really good. He's actually gone up in price. He's not at what he's on. I run 2 Sublime Archangels. Now the only reason why I run 2 is I think 4 is overkill. While flying Exalted, each other creature you control have Exalted. So she doesn't get the Exalted, but when you run 2, it's double Exalted for her, and other creatures get triple Exalted. I thought about running 4, but I don't know. I think 2 is good enough. I mean, she's up there still. She's really good. I only run 2, but And then that's where the tokens come into play too, because she gives them Exalted, so you can start hitting for even more damage. Um, Angelic Benediction. Now this is a very interesting card. Exalted. Whenever creature you control attacks alone, you may tap target creature. I like this card because if they're, if they have something that's gonna block your dude, tap it, right? But what it does, it taps them when you attack. So, but it only works if you're swinging alone. That's what's risky about this deck, is that you can only swing one creature per game. So you have a lot of defense, but and then Nefrox, I only one run. I'm not a big fan of him, but I only run one. Flying, Exalted, whenever Nefrox Overload of Grixis attacks, alone defending player sacrifices a creature. A very interesting card. Kind of reminds me of Malphegor. But, yeah. It's a very interesting card. I'm not a big fan of it, but, I mean, if he gets out there, you kind of don't want to swing with him, because, you have to destroy a target creature while he's attacking. And you go, oh, well, I'm going to tap these. So they have to sacrifice first, and then you tap the 4 other creatures if he doesn't sacrifice the right one. And then I also run um, Necropolis Regen from Return to Ravnica. 6 cost, flying. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on. Now, if you use the Johnny's -3, this kind of gets nasty, because it's like, oh, double strike, oh, boom. Okay, it gets that many counters. Now I'm gonna hit you again, and it doubles those counters. So she's Nefrox, and her. I like her over Nefrox, but I run both. This is my Exalted deck. I'm sorry if this video runs a bit long. Um, Black. I run about. I run a bit more black than white. I like it the way it is. I think it's powerful. Um, there are some cards coming out in Gate Crash that I kind of want to put in here. So this deck is the way it is. There's only one card in here that isn't. Two cards in here that are in 13, which is Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, and Necropolis Regent. I like it. It might get better when Gate Crash comes out, but I think it's good the way it is at the moment. That's all I could say. Nothing big, nothing too much to talk about. Oh, Angel deck. I might have a redo video up on that, because I got 2 Honor of the Pures, 2 more, so it'll be 4 Honor of the Pures. I want to let you guys know that now, just in case. Still, I would like to hear if you guys would like to see any matches on the decks I've built. I would like to see how many people would like to see Heaven on Earth versus Hell on Earth, which is Angels versus Demons. And if you guys want to see this deck in action, because I have a feeling a lot of you want to see the Exalted deck in action, I'll be willing to do it. And for all my players out there that watch this, I don't know what to say. This deck is $100 and something according to TCG. A lot of this stuff is really easy to pull. Things that make it up there, pretty much Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, Sublime Archangel, I think are the only things that put it up there. Maybe the Night of Infamy and Night of Glory. I think that's mainly the only thing. Maybe a tiny bit from the Johnny, maybe the Nighthawks too. But the 3 big money cards are Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, and the Sublime Archangels. Maybe the Cathedral Wars, but I don't think they're that much. The sad thing is I have never seen any of them in a case anywhere, so Maybe other people use them for other decks. I don't know, but that's it. I mean, that's all I have to say about the Exalted. Like I said, I'm sorry if the video runs a bit longer than it should. That's all I have to say. If you guys have any questions, message me on Facebook or comment in the video box on the Facebook, and I'll try to answer them as well as possible. Um, just letting you guys know. Like to see you. Like to hear from you guys. I enjoy hearing from you guys. This is all I have to say, and I'm sorry the video ran a bit longer than I expected. Um, so that's it for the Exalted deck build, Power of Friendship. I will put Black White Exalted up and what I call it up under those names. But it's more known as Black White Exalted. I like to give my decks names. Um, so that's it, and Austin the Dark Lord out.